Brilliance Audio presents the unabridged recording of Phantom Evil by Heather Graham, performed by Jeff Cummings.
Prologue. The House on Dauphine. "Mommy?" She had dozed, Regina Holloway thought. Sheer exhaustion from the work she engaged in at the house on Dauphine Street. Sheer exhaustion had finally allowed her to drift off to sleep. The word, the whisper, was something she had conjured in her mind. She had been so desperate to hear it spoken again. Waking, not opening her eyes, she listened to what was real. The sound of musicians down the street and the spattering of applause that followed their jazz numbers. The deep, sad heartbeat of the saxophone. The distant noise of the mule-driven carriages that took tourists around the historic French Quarter. Sometimes the sound of laughter. She breathed in the smell of pine cleaner which they had been using on the house. Beneath it, drifting in from the open French doors that led to the courtyard of the beautiful home, was the sweet scent of the magnolia trees that grew against the rear wall. They'd finally gotten their home in the French Quarter, with its subtle and underlying hint of strange days gone by. Some said that it was haunted by those days, by that history, certainly not always so pleasant. This house had been, after all, owned by Madden C. Newton, the killer who had terrorized many a victim in the years following the Civil War. The tour group carriages rolled by with tales of ghosts and ghastly visions seen by previous owners. But neither she nor David believed in ghosts, and the house had been a steal. Now, of course, she longed with her whole heart to believe in ghosts. If they existed, she might see her Jacob again. But ghosts were not real. The house was a house. Brick, wood, mortar, lath, plaster, and paint. She and David had both grown up on the other side of town. They had dreamed of owning such a house. They had, however, never dreamed that they would live in it alone. Yes, she knew what was real and what wasn't. She was learning to live without the painkillers that had gotten her through the first months after Jacob had been lost. The painkillers had given her several strange visions, but none of them ghostly. "Mommy?" But she heard the word, and she heard it clearly.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?